And like, I never thought that I would be reading a mango seduction scene in this book, but you know, Sabaa Tahir delivers on the things that I really want. Hello my friends, I'm ready to film one of the most exciting videos of my entire life, and that is a reading vlog for A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir. So this is the new installment for the Ember in the Ashes series, and it is one of my all-time favorite series, as you guys probably know if you watch my videos, and I am just so freaking excited. I was lucky enough to be sent an early copy of the book by Penguin Teen. So I got this about like 6 days early, and I've been reading it, and I am halfway through now. It is Saturday, November 28th when I'm filming this, and I'm hoping to finish this before the release day and also do a full spoilery review for you guys. But I wanted to start this vlog here. I have been reading this after work in the past couple of days. I have been kind of slow with it, but it is going so well right now, and I've been kind of tabbing the book as I'm reading it, and it's just been such an enjoyable and incredible experience. And I'm in love. This is the point where I tell you to leave if you haven't read any of the previous books in the series, or if you don't want to get any kind of spoilers on A Sky Beyond the Storm, because I am gonna go through spoilery bits throughout this vlog, because I think it'll be enjoyable for those of you who have read it. So leave now if you haven't read A Sky Beyond the Storm. Okay, let's start off with some of my thoughts, initial thoughts, before I get into just me reading and all of that. So I'm halfway through. I think I'm 244 pages in. I am through like part 1 and about 2. I think I'm on part 3. I'm close to part 3. And this is insane. I am in love. I love how we are already opening with Laya and Helene kind of doing really well and as kind of friends. And I am just in love with that. I vaguely don't remember a lot of things that happened in A Reaper at the Gates, including why Elias had to become the soul catcher. But I know it was like to protect other people, so that's totally fine. And so he is kind of doing his own thing in the waiting place, and Laya and Helene are kind of fighting to get people free, and for the scholars and for the marshals in Antium, and they're all working together with like Musa and Darin, and I just love their little gang at the beginning because they're just so cute. And then they do split up afterwards when Laya decides that she needs to get Elias on their side, and when the other guys decide that they need to go save Antium, and they go to Delphinium to kind of meet up with the Paters and all that. But so far it's going great. There's been so many angsty moments, and even from the beginning there was like this moment where Laya was just like reminiscing about Elias, and I was like, oh my god, like my heart's kind of like burst. And I'm just loving just from the beginning of this book how I'm noticing the kind of difference in the characters from the beginning of the book, because to be honest, I reread the first book in the series, An Ember in the Ashes, a few months ago for a like dedicated video for that. It was like 44 thoughts I had while reading An Ember in the Ashes, and I absolutely loved that video, and I loved making it, and I loved rereading An Ember in the Ashes. But I kind of am fuzzy on the details in the second and third book, so like coming to this fourth book after rereading only the first book is so interesting to see how far the characters have come. And it's so exciting because like you're seeing like Laya, who started out really like timid and weak and not sure of herself and not sure what she should be doing, and then seeing her in A Sky Beyond the Storm like being so sure of herself and, you know, just going after what she needs to do, and, you know, being so strong and fearless is just so amazing. And then seeing Helene, who had all these terrible values ingrained in her as a marshal, and then seeing her in this book kind of having accepted the scholars being free and, you know, wanting to fight for them and fighting with them, like that is so amazing. And then seeing Elias like being who he was at the beginning of An Ember in the Ashes, and seeing how, you know, he wanted to just run away, and then now he's like standing his ground and wanting to protect everyone. But I mean, he is a soul catcher at the beginning of this, and so he is like running away from the human world but trying to like still stay true to his vow as the soul catcher. So it's just a really interesting vibe reading this, and like, you know, getting all those feels and seeing how far our characters have come. And I'm also like getting this really epic vibe, you know, like that vibe that you get whenever you read a final book or you watch the final movie in like a series. You know that everything's coming to a cusp, like, you know, this entire book is like a climax point, and it's just so exciting. So I'm super excited, and I like cannot wait to see where this goes in the rest of the book. And like just I like literally screamed when the book came to my door, because initially they told me that it was gonna come like on December 1st, and so I was like, okay, I'll wait, it's fine. And then it came early, and I was just so freaking excited. So yes, super excited, cannot wait. It's gonna be amazing. I will update you on my thoughts later on in the day once I've read more. so I just got to the part where it's revealed that Raymond is the Djinn Queen, and guys, I was like semi-expecting that, but like totally came out of nowhere. So Raymond is like inside Laia this whole time and like kind of guiding her and like giving her magic and stuff, and you're like, who is this power? What is it going to be? And then at some point Laia thinks that it's actually a man as well inside her because of like their arrogance and like entitlement, and it turns out to be Raymond is the Djinn Queen. And the Nightbringer was like surprised because he didn't know she was alive. He thought that she died, and here he has been thinking that he's been alone this entire time. I think one of the interesting things about this book is that like I'm seeing how Laia feels bad for the Nightbringer, even though he's like kind of terrible. And this is another thing that Sabathir does a lot and does really well. It's like showing characters who have so many sides to them and are not completely evil. But this is so interesting, and I'm kind of blown right now, and we'll see how this goes. Oh my god, okay, so I just got to part 3, the Djinn Queen, and I just finished the chapter where Helene kills Grimar and like does that whole badass thing, and then she like has this moment where she thinks Harper is like dead or gonna die. Like he disappears in the middle of the battle, and then she's like, oh my god, he's dead, and then she freaks out, and then she's like, oh my god, I never got to like tell him I love him and like, you know, do all the things and all of that. And then at the end of the chapter she's like, oh my god, I'm in love with him, and like, you know, I'm not fearless. And amidst all of that, all the marshals and like scholars and everyone who are helping her are chanting her name and chanting Imperator Invictus, wanting her to be the emperor instead of like her little nephew Zacharias, because he's a baby and she wants him to be the emperor. She doesn't think that she can lead, but they all want her to lead, and it's just so freaking wonderful, and I love it. Like from the beginning I thought that Helene should have been the emperor. Like I was hoping during the trials in the first book that like she would be the one who would end up winning, but obviously we get thrown for a loop and things get out of hand. But I love the growth that she's gone through, and I would love for her to be the emperor. We'll see how it ends up being in the end, but like damn, 'twas good. This was like great, and now I just want to see her and Harper get together. This is like my big thing, because she's like avoiding him right now for most of the book. For the most of the first half of the book she's avoiding him, so I'm hoping after realizing that she's in love with him she's gonna actually do something about it, because this is just killing me. But I love the Harper and Helene ship. They're just so cute. I love them. Hello friends, I just went downstairs to get a package from the door, and The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang just came in the mail. I ordered this because a lot of you have been telling me to read it, and I know the last book just came out, so I was like, why not? I know my sister really loves this book, my oldest sister, so I thought I would pick it up. I have the ebook from the library as well, so I don't know which I'll read from, but I wanted to have a physical copy, and I prefer paperbacks anyways, so I thought I would order this, and I feel like this is the next thing that's gonna destroy me after A Sky Beyond the Storm. And I just finished the part in the book where the Nightbringer has kind of told the story of how he and Raymond met and how they fell in love and how she died and all that. So that was interesting, and I'm curious to see where this is gonna go. Hello, so I just finished this really cute part where basically Laia and Elias were meeting in the Tribelands after a little bit, and after she got like mauled by the river and almost drowned in the Nightbringer and Raymond situation, and then he's like staring at one of her wounds, and then she's like, it was a river, like, you know, you're the one who abandoned me, so if you want to get angry at someone, like look in a mirror. And I died at that. And then afterwards he's like, this river that did this to you, I don't like it. And she's like, are you gonna find the bad river, Elias, and make it pay? And then he's like, maybe I can divert it down a canyon or something. And it's just so cute. He's like the soul catcher, and he's like trying to stay all like, you know, stoic and stuff, but he's like letting out these little pieces of Elias come out, and you know how much he cares for her. And it is darn freaking hilarious and so freaking cute, and I just love them so much. So I just reached the part where Livia dies because Karis shows up in the baby's room and just murders Livia. And I just don't know what to feel now. What is going on? Like, just why? Why? Hello everyone, it is much later in the day. It is like 3:30 right now, and oh my god, this book is killing me. Oh, so I am like, I'm at page 360, and so much fucking shit has happened, and I apologize for swearing. Oh my god. So if you look at what I've done here on the tabbing on the book, so there wasn't much at the beginning, and then you see this like string of them all along this one section of the book. So that was the middle bit where things were actually happy and things were going well and I was laughing and excited, and now everything's going to shit again and I am so scared for my babies because people are dying and I'm just gonna cry. Anyways, so that middle part had so many freaking crazy shit happening and I need to talk about it. Okay, so the first of those things was freaking Laia seducing Elias with a freaking mango. She like gets a mango, goes to his like, you know, tent, and she's like, mangoes shouldn't be eaten alone, and then, you know, is trying to appeal to his humanity, and then she starts like, you know, massaging the mango on her thigh and like running it up and down, and he's just watching her, and then, you know, she starts eating it and like the juice starts like falling down her arm, and then he like goes to like lick it, and oh my god, it was this whole thing, and I, whew. And like, I never thought that I would be reading a mango seduction scene in this book, but you know, somebody here delivers on the things that I really want. And then we got another scene, like literally the next chapter afterwards or something. We get the long-awaited moment between Helene and Harper, and oh my god, I wanted to like just, oh my god. Okay, so Musa was like trying to convince Helene to like, you know, give in and tell Harper how she feels and all of that, and so we have this like build up and she keeps pushing him away, and then finally she like goes up to the Bads in her armor and is like, I don't know, gonna confront him in some way because she realizes that she loves him and that she doesn't want to lose him after that battle, and thinking that she lost him, and then she rolls up to the bath and then he's there, and then he's like half naked because he was just in the Bads and he's wearing a towel around his arm, you know, bottom half, and she's like, oh my god, I'm wearing armor, like who goes to tell their love that they love them wearing a bunch of armor? And she doesn't actually tell him that she loves him, but like, you know, she wants to tell him that she feels the same and like, you know, wants to kiss him again, that kind of thing. Literally, she's like trying to take off her armor, and then he's like, why are you here? Why are you here? And she won't answer, and then he helps her take off her armor, and then she takes off all her armor, and then she gets naked, and they both get naked, and they go into the bath, and then they get closer together, and literally, it doesn't say it explicitly, but I'm pretty sure this is what happened. He goes down on her in that pool, and I was like, Harper, you are a good man. He lifts her up onto like the side of the bath and just goes to town, and it was a time, and it was what Helene deserves. After all of the fighting and the madness and craziness, girl deserves a good time, and I'm just happy for her, and it was amazing. And then freaking Livia dies after that, and I was like, I just can't. Like, we were having this great time, as you can tell by all the tabs, and then Livia dies. Like, Karis just shows up in like the window and freaking cuts Livia as she's holding Zacharias, and it was the freaking craziest madness ever going on. And then we also have a bunch of moments with Elias and Laia, and Elias gets like taken back to the waiting place, but before that, like, there's so many moments with him and Laia, and him starting to realize that he, you know, is caring for her, and he wants to, you know, protect her, and he does protect her from the Nightbringer, even though he says he won't. And then there's also like this beautiful moment where like she finally calls him Soulcatcher, and he's like, no, Elias, and corrects her, even though this entire time he's been correcting her to say the Soulcatcher, and he's like, I prefer Elias from you. And I was like, I'm gonna die, like, just kill me now, I am deceased. I am like less than 150 pages to the end, and I know I'm gonna be destroyed. And at this point, Elias has talked to Moth, which is super cool, and has like gotten the permission to leave the waiting place, and so he's going back, and they have to figure out a way to like win against the Nightbringer, and they found out that Karis's army is like thousands of miles away in Marin, and there's that whole aspect, and the Bloodstrike and all of them are trying to like draw carry us away from Marin towards somewhere else in the Marshall Empire. And all of this stuff is like coming together, and it's like that freaking epic moment of the movie, and I'm just dying, and I need to catch my breath, and this book is gonna kill me, and oh my god. I hope there are others of you who feel the way that I do, because I am freaking out. So I'm gonna read more now, and I will update you when I'm closer to the end, and oh my god, I'm gonna just, I need my babies to be happy. That's like what I need. Hello. So another update while I am reading. So I reached this part where Laia is trying to get the Kahani of one of the tribes to figure out the story behind the Nightbringer. And then there's like this prophecy that the augur told Elias about going back to the beginning. And then Darin is like listening to her talk to the Kahani, and he's like, well, what about the book? And she's like, what book? And he's like, I brought it back to you. And then he was like, it's the one that you were reading before Nan and Pop died, like right before. And then she finds it in her pack, and it's called Gather in the Dark. And then she's like, oh yeah, I remember this now. And then the Kahani kind of takes it, and she's like, yes, this is what I need. And so me, being me, is completely confused. Even though I reread An Emer the Ashes recently, I could not remember this book. And so I go back to the very first page of the book, and Laia is reading at the beginning of the book. And he picks up the book on my bed. Gather in the Night. He reads the title, Spooky. What's it about? I just started it. It's about a djinn. I stop. Clever. Very clever. He likes hearing stories as much as I like telling them. Forget that. Where were you? And they have this little exchange at the beginning of the book when he comes home late at night and she's reading, and he's trying to change the subject by looking at her book, and it's about a djinn. Gather in the Night. And she was reading about the djinns and probably the Nightbringer, and this is at the beginning of the first book, and Sabatahira somehow planted this at the first page of this book to use later on in the last book, and my brain is just getting blown, and I just cannot deal. Hello, this is later in the day. It's like almost 5 right now. I am at page 410, 411, and a lot has happened. More people have died. Musa's like ex-wife from Marin, the princess, she died. Nicola, that's her name. Yeah, and all of that happened, and they all are converging on the waiting place in the like Shir Jinat, the city of the Jinn, and so much is happening, and like Elias is embracing his humanity a little bit more, which I am loving. And he talked to his grandfather, and he talked to the Blood Shrike, and he talked to his brother Harper, and I'm just dying. It's just making me so happy. But we just reached this part where they're like having kind of a war meeting before the Jinn appear and the Nightbringer appears, and so Musa's on the side with Laia and is talking about how Elias, you know, still wants to be with her and all of that. And then she's like, no, he's ignoring me, like, you know, even if he's opened up to everyone else, he's been ignoring me and all of that. And then Musa's like, oh yeah, but to ignore you, he has to be paying attention to you. And Laia's like, what do you mean? And then Musa's like, you know, he's watching you, his eyes are like following you. And he's like, watch if I trip you. And then he trips her, and then Elias like sticks out his hand. He's like standing across the room from her, but he sticks out his hand as if to help her. And then like Musa helps her up, and then I'm just like sitting here like dying laughing because this is just freaking hilarious. And then Helene and like Harper just kind of look at each other when they see Elias stick out his hand, and I'm dying, and this is just peak entertainment right now. Oh my god, okay. So, as you can probably tell from all the reactions that I have, I just read the scene where I can't speak words or names, where Elias and Laia do the thing, do the dirty, just finally do it. And oh my god, I've been waiting 4 books for this, and it finally happened, and I am anyways, so like it's like hours later after they've done it and everything, and then, you know, Laya gets up and she's like, we have to win tomorrow. And he's like, why? And she's like, because this cannot be the only night we spend together. And I'm like, yes girl, preach. And then she also says some really sweet stuff. She's like, I want a life with you, adventures, meals, late nights in front of fires, 1,000 rainy walks, you talking me out of my clothing in inappropriate places, which I want. And then she stops and she's like, she wants children, she wants more, and my heart is dying and I just want more for my babies. But they can't be together because he needs to have someone replace him at the waiting place, and I'm gonna cry now. So Harper just died and Helene has gone down, and I refuse to believe that either of them are dead, so I'm just gonna pretend that that didn't happen and we're just gonna continue on. What the actual fuck? Darren just died. Okay, shit is just hitting the fan and I can't deal with this. Oh my god. Holy fuck. So, Laya just killed the Nightbringer, and he freaking released all of his thousands of years of suffering into the sea of suffering, and now it's gonna fucking blow shit. Oh my god. What? What? What the fuck? Elias is getting pulled into the sea of suffering, and Raymond is stopping her, and holy fuck. And now Laya jumped into just jumped into the dark, just into the sea of suffering, just. Okay, so Elias wakes up in like this kind of dream state with his father, and his father's telling him about how he was originally married, and then him and his wife separated, and he fell in love with Karis, but then the Alestrians, who thought, you know, he wasn't good enough because he was a plebeian, killed him in front of her when she was like 19. So I just got to a chapter titled Karis Victoria. We're getting a fucking point of view from Karis, and I am gonna lose it. Oh my god. The resistance took Karis' mother. Oh my god. So somehow Laya's mother, Mira of Sarah, has just shown up and is miraculously still alive and kills Karis, and what the fuck is happening? Okay, so Raymond just bound the Nightbringer, and Laya kind of appeals to him, and he's, what is it, he's near Bara, forsaken, and she kind of appeals to him, and he finally gives in, and Raymond kind of binds him, and Laya promises to tell the tale for all her generations to come, and you find out Raymond means mercy, which, my brain is dying. My heart is dying. Okay, we just found out that line of the prophecy that says, in Flowerfall, the orphan will bow to the scythe. In Flowerfall, the daughter will pay the blood tithe. And that was freaking Laya. She's an orphan now. And she has paid the price. Oh my god. So Mira, like, Laya's mother shows up just now, and apparently Harper and Helene knew that she was alive, and they were helping her, like, you know, stowing her away in Antium, and I am just okay, wait, scratch that. Helene didn't know the entire time. Harper knew the entire time. Helene only knew the night before the battle, which, oh my god. Oh my god, I like literally cannot right now. So she's gonna take over as a soul catcher, and she's not as bound as Eliza's because she doesn't have to be brought back to life, and so I'm assuming, can sort of leave, but then she's like, you know, after a few months training with my future son-in-law, I'll be able to take over as Banu Almoth, and I am dying. This is freaking hilarious, and I'm just, it kind of makes sense like her taking over. She's like filled with regret and remorse and all of this, and like consumed with revenge, and Eliza's gonna be free, and she was the mother who watches over them all, which makes so much more sense now, and I am crying. So it's confirmed that Harper is dead, and I am shattered, and I don't honestly understand why he had to die. Like, I feel like Helene could have just killed Karis, like, with Mira, and I just, like, she already lost so much. I don't see why Harper had to die too. Like, oh my god, she finally had something, you know, after her entire family died, her sister just died, and now Harper died. And like, why all of this suffering for her, you know? Like, I feel so bad for Helene. Also, the last line that she says to his corpse is, "You got there first, my love. I envy you so, for how will I endure without you?" Which is what he says to her. How will I endure without you if you die first? And I just can't. Oh my god, okay, so I just finished the chapter where Helene gets crowned empress, or like becomes empress, and she swears that she will never take a husband or, you know, have children, and she never wanted children to begin with, and she names Zacharias her heir, and then like they decide that Zacharias is going to be raised by Mommy Rila in the tribe lands with Laya, who's going to be trained as a Kehani, and it's all coming together. But I'm like really sad for Helene still, and I wanted her to have love, and I just hate the idea of, you know, so many of these women in power just coming to power and not having someone to love them or be loved with. So I'm really sad about that. I'm also secretly, I'm hoping that her and Musa will have something, you know, because both of them have suffered in a lot of ways and have lost people that they love, but holy shit. So, you know, I'm at the chapter, at the end of the chapter, where Elias like has, you know, been released from his duty, and he goes to the festival with Laya, and they take a tumble in the caravan and everything, and then she finally asks like, okay, what did you tell me at the Moon Festival in Sadiz that like I didn't know the translation to? And then he's like, I remember what I said, but it doesn't really translate. I have to show you. And then the chapter ends like that, and I just can't. The man was saying some dirty things when they first met, and I just can't. Oh my god, okay, I was right about Musa. They like danced at the festival, and I'm realizing that the festival is actually months and months later, but oh my god, like months have passed, and like the two of them have been spending a lot of time together, and she's like, when grief threatens to consume me, it is Musa who appears with a meal and insists we eat it out in the sunshine. Musa who drags me to the palace kitchens to bake bread with him, and Musa who suggests a visit to Zacharias, even if it means canceling 2 weeks of court. And she's talking about how both of them are like grieving, you know, their respective lovers, and you know, their two broken halves kind of make a whole. And she asks him to stay, you know, with her, not like with her, but like, you know, not leave to Marin, I think, and he's gonna stay, and they're gonna be like keeping company with each other. And then he also mentions, because she offered him, or he asked her for something, like a favor of any kind whenever he wanted, for something else earlier in the book, and I can't remember what it was. But at the end of this chapter, he's like, good, because I'm glad you want me to stay, because like I still have a favor to rein in. And like, I'm like, yes, because it's like something kind of positive and happy, and at least there's this bit of happiness in Helene's life. Last chapter. finished it. I just finished it. I finished it. My babies are okay, but like, oh my god, that was a trip. That was a freaking trip. Do you see this? Do you see this? Towards the end, I was like not even putting down like markers because I was like, I just need to know what happens. And oh my god, that was freaking amazing. And I enjoyed it so much. Sorry, adjusting the camera. Yeah, I enjoyed it so much, and it's like kind of a blur now because I just literally finished it and I can't like put my thoughts together. And hopefully this vlog is not too ridiculous and rambly, and I apologize for all of the real-time reactions because they're just ridiculous. But oh my god, like it did start out like, I actually know, like the entire thing I loved it. Like at the beginning, the first half did go a little bit slower for me because I just like, you know, wanted Elias to actually do something and all that. But like later on, like honestly, like 30% in and onward, like it was going so great, and so many things happened, and all the wonderful things that happened in the middle were just so great. And just seeing it all come together and all of the like seeds that she had planted from the beginning is just so amazing. And honestly, like I can't decide what book is my favorite. I think it's a tie between the first book and this book, An Ember in the Ashes and A Sky Beyond the Storm. Like I really love both of them. I think this one I got to see so many of the things I was waiting for just come to fruition, and like that was just amazing. And also just seeing how much the characters grew was just so awesome. And I think the second and third book kind of dragged for me because there's so much stuff going on, but I love the ending of A Reaper at the Gates. There's nothing more epic than the ending of A Reaper at the Gates. Oh my god, like yeah, I was just having like flashbacks to like the first book so much reading this one because there's so many callbacks, and I just love that so much. And oh my god, this was, yeah, it was just a freaking dream come true. But yeah, overall, that was amazing. It's like 6:30 now on November 28th. It's a Saturday, and I finished the rest of A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir. And honestly, that storm was freaking crazy, but I am so happy we are past it and that my babies are alive and well and happy, even if not all of them are alive. And I'm just, yeah, I loved this series so much and hold it very close to my heart, and I just can't wait to like, you know, have this entire series and reread it again one day and just, you know, pass it on to people I love. And yeah, if you somehow watch this vlog without having read this book, I implore you to go read it. I'm gonna be deceased and I'm never gonna get over this hangover for the rest of eternity, but here we are. Oh my god, yeah. My heart is like, it's like breaking, but also like so full of all of the love in this book. And yeah, this is just such an amazing experience reading this too. Like that was one of the most wonderful experiences, and I think it was just so nice returning to these characters that I know so well, that I've been with through many books, and just seeing them again and seeing them triumphant. Like that was just yeah, amazing. So love this book so much and this series, and yeah, I have nothing else to say. Thank you so much for watching this ridiculous vlog. Let me know your thoughts on A Sky Beyond the Storm, and if any of your thoughts differed from mine and what you thought of my ridiculous reactions. Like, I'd love to hear all of that. And I will never forget the mango scene because that is like ingrained in my memory now, so highlight. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you want to hear regular updates on my reading, because I update those very often. And thank you so much for watching and being here for this journey of a time. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. So please remember that the story ain't over. Bye.